Buenas tardes. We're sorry for the late start. We're going to get started right away for you with a beautiful traditional dance from Spain, and then we'll tell you all about flamenco. Ole!
A la puerta de Toledo, mare, le tengo celo. Le tengo celo. A la puerta de Toledo, mare, le tengo celo. A la puerta de Toledo, mare, le tengo celo. Le tengo celo porque se cita con otro la mujer que yo más quiero. Porque se cita con otro la mujer que yo más quiero. Y en el mismo sitio, a la misma hora, se estaba besando con otra persona. Me decía que iba a misa, mare, y me engañaba. Y me engañaba. Y me decía que iba a misa, mare, y me engañaba. Y me decía que iba a misa, mare, y me engañaba. Y me engañaba. Si no llevaba rosario ni libro, como rezaba. Si no llevaba rosario ni libro, como rezaba. Y en el mismo sitio, a la misma hora, se estaba besando con otra persona. La noche de la tormenta, niña, como llovía, como llovía. La noche de la tormenta, niña, como llovía. La noche de la tormenta, niña, como llovía. Como llovía, aunque paraguas pare mía se taparía. Aunque paraguas pare se taparía. Y en el mismo sitio, a la misma hora, se estaba besando con otra persona. Cuando paso por el puente, Triana, contigo vida mía. Cuando paso por el puente, Triana, contigo vida mía. Triana, contigo vida mía. Con mirarte solamente, Triana, yo muero de alegría. Porque tienes unos ojos, Triana, igual que dos luceros, Triana, igual que dos luceros. Y una clase de hechura, Triana, no hay en el mundo entero. Si por otro me dejara, Triana, de pena moriría. Cariño, te quiero y te querré. Eres mi noche y mi día, Triana, yo le...
All right. Can you all, on the count of 3, give me one big ole? Ready for it? 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow, this group sounds amazing. You may or may not know the meaning of ole, but you hear it in soccer games, you hear it in bullfights, You definitely hear it a lot in flamenco, and really any time that you're in a situation where there's something worth celebrating or something you want to shout out and say yes, like it's almost like saying bravo or go. So we actually feed off of that energy from you. At the end of each of the songs that we're going to perform today, the very ending, you can't miss it. I think you're going to know when is your turn to shout an ole if you feel like you were excited by that moment. Okay? Flamenco comes from Spain. España, can you say Viva España? And flamenco is all over the world. It started in Spain, but it's everywhere, as you can see right now. Does anybody know the name of this instrument I have on my hands? They look like clams, they're shaped like clams, and that's no coincidence. Castanets. Okay? En español, castañuelas. The short version is palillos. Can you say palillos? They're made of chestnut wood, and the modern castanets are like the grand niece or nephew of what used to be used in sort of like ancient Western civilization, and they were made out of seashells, which is why many of you thought to say clams, right? They were called krotalos. They were used by the ancient Greeks, and they made some sounds, but wouldn't shells kind of break easily if you started tapping a lot on them? Probably, right? So now they're made even with fiberglass for the purpose of really being able to move around with them and make some sound. So it's a percussionist instrument used in Spain and in flamenco. One thing I want you to know about flamenco is that it really comes from a particular combination of peoples that lived especially in the south of Spain. The south of Spain, which is just across the water really from northern Africa. And in this part of the world, think of it, Europe ends with the Iberian Peninsula, Spain and Portugal. If you've been traveling all the way through, maybe from Asia all the way through the east and then into Eastern Europe, and then you kind of kept going until you couldn't keep going anymore because the ocean stopped you, you would end up in Spain or Portugal. And so therefore many different peoples ended up there and living kind of side by side. The Muslims, the Jewish peoples, the Catholics, the Gypsies, and many, many more. Those are four main groups that we kind of have to credit for flamenco. And for many, many different reasons that we don't have so much time to go into today, these peoples had to, at different times, maybe hide their traditions or be a little discreet and keep them at home. And then some other groups were a little bit more accepted socially. This is kind of maybe a little parallel to some things that are happening in the world today. So I like to think of flamenco as an art form where you can express yourself. The guitar, the singing, the clapping and percussion of all kinds, the dancing is all a medium for you to express yourself and for us to be together and feed off of each other's energy and be inspired by each other. Every flamenco song, and there are many, they each have their mood. We're going to show you one short solo called Soleá por Bulerías, and that comes from the word soleá. Can you say soleá? Ole la soleá. Well, raise your hand if you speak Spanish here. Oh, we have many Spanish speakers. Okay, hands down. Muy bien. So those of you, I'll wait. You won't want to miss this. Those of you who speak Spanish, or maybe those of you who are learning or studying or who have friends who speak Spanish, might know that the word soledad means loneliness, solitude. So this dance kind of comes from a place of solitude. And when you're on your own, what are the kinds of thoughts that you might be thinking about that only would maybe come out when you're more by yourself? So here we go, Soleá por Bulerías.
ya, ya. Arde la puerta, re, arde la puerta, oh, re, que me aliviará a mi esta duca que más así de pasa que me aliviará a mi esta duca que más así de pasa. bandera, ahí tanilla, ahí tanilla de la estiera, vente conmigo a mi casa, que vente conmigo a mi casa nueva.
Ole, very nicely placed, that ole. So, you might have noticed that my dance started a little bit introspective, but did it end the same way? Maybe some people will think yes, but mostly I was going for a kind of like, I finally got into a good mood. I'm psyched now. Many times flamenco dances do that. They might start off a certain way. And don't your feelings change in the course of a day? Things happen. Unexpected things happen. And so, yes, most often, flamenco dances end a little bit faster. What did you hear when I went faster? You heard my shoes. You heard my feet doing some percussion. In flamenco, that is one of the things at our disposal. And actually, Adriana can come up and help demonstrate. This is Adriana Olivares. Ole. My name is Bárbara Martinez. Gracias. And singing and playing for you today is Ricardo Sanchez. Ole. So we're going to show you maybe just 3 of the different sounds that we can make with our flamenco shoes. Our flamenco shoes are really mostly made in Spain, and they have, I don't know if you can see a little shine on the tips of our toes and on the heels. And men's shoes are the same. They have some nails, many nails that are put in there, that are hammered in there, that after a while of dancing sort of become a little layer, kind of like American tap shoes, but American tap shoes have like a thick slab of metal, and the sound is very, very loud. We can play with that. The loudest sound that we make in flamenco is actually called a golpe. Can you say golpe? It's like a hit. Vamos a ver. The flat foot. Her whole entire foot's going down. If she puts down what we say in tap dancing, the ball of your foot, like the front half of your foot, has a kind of a lower, deeper sound. And what about and can you say planta? Those are the plantas. And how about your tacones? Can you say tacón? It's a little higher pitch, right? So you know those are the heels. So we can combine all those sounds in a different way. And one thing I want to show you for the next dance is how we use our arms and hands. From your seats, you might want to try this with us for just a moment. Let's see. Make a big, like as if you're holding a big beach ball, an invisible beach ball. Roll your shoulders back and down, sit up tall and defiant and present. Fingertips pointing towards each other and the palms of your hand toward you. If you circle with the fingertips into your belly button and down and out and up, and you keep circling, you can make your circle flowery or angular, doesn't matter. And if you climb up, let's hear that with some guitar. Ooh, I can see you. Vamos a escucharlo con la guitarra. And climb up, relax those shoulders. Shh. And stop up here and face the ceiling with the palms of your hands. You're pushing the ceiling away. This time you're going out and in. Out. Can you climb back down with the outward circles? Pointy elbows, the pointier your elbows, the more your wrists can circle. Now can you circle in and out, alternating in and out? And can you circle and climb up around to the sides? Ole! Careful with your neighbors. Ole! Ole! And now on the count of 3, I want you to strike a pose that only you could think of, where your personality comes through, where your feeling at this very moment comes through. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ole! Can you say alegrías? Alegrías. What does alegrías mean? My Spanish speakers? Happiness, joy. Here's a very different kind of song. We're going to wait for you to be quiet so you don't miss anything. And remember, hold all of your sounds and oles and anything else for the very, very end of her dance, okay? Vamos allá por alegría. Vamos allá. Hold your claps for after.
tran tran tran, tiriti tran tran tran, tiriti tran tran treirón, tiriti tran tran, tiriti tran tran tran, tiriti tran 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 tran, tiriti tran tran treiro, ay tiriti tran 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 tran. El mar en tu orilla, ay, tierra guapa, y del clavel de tu mejilla tiene envidia a mi solapa, ay, del clavel de tu mejilla tiene envidia a mi solapa, ay, la muralla de Caila derribaron, ay, el querer que te tengo, no pueden tirarlo, no pueden tirarlo, mares, no pueden tirarlo, que las murallas de Caila derribaron.
Llámanos para la bulería, ¿vale?
Cuando van dando, cuando van dando, cuando van dando rosa y lirio, lirios y rosas van derramando, lirios y rosas, rosas y lirios van derramando. Tiriti tran tran teiro, ay tiriti tran 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 tran, tiriti tran tran tran, tiriti tran 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 tran, tiriti tran tran tran, ay tiriti tran 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 tran. ¡Ale!
Thank you so much. I understand that your school bell is about to ring, so I wanted to thank you. Say ole to yourselves for being here today. And if you want to learn more about flamenco, go to Google, find barbaramartinez.com, and have a beautiful day. Gracias.